Yeah. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to how to do DevOps properly in a commercial environment. I'm sure you have seen lots of YouTube videos where they show you how to do CI/CD, but it my session would be a bit different. Yeah, where I show you normally how it is done in a commercial environment. Right, that's the point. So about myself, my name is Gurumurthy Raghupati, but people could call me Guru. I'm known mostly as Agile Guru because I like Agile way of doing things. Right now, what we are going to do today is today's agenda is very simple. Right, if I open the calendar, if I'm sure most of you have seen it, it's like the agenda is Jenkins CI, a pipeline setup, application and packaging setup, and deployment. I understand this is normally what you see everywhere, but I'm going to do the commercial way where you don't do it like, okay, log into an EC2 instance or doing something like that. No, it doesn't work like that in a commercial environment because you will never get access to the servers anyway. Yeah, and please keep it as interactive as possible, but still don't abuse, don't spam, no swearing, no being disrespectful to anyone. Nikhil Goyal and Rishabh will look at the chat, and if there are some questions, he will help me out. But it's a collective thing. This has to do with learning. Please use it to learn it, um, and ask doubts. That's not a problem, but please refrain from insulting anyone. And if you do so, you will be removed from the session. Okay. Yeah. Uh, and Rishabh and Nikhil have thankfully agreed to become moderators. So they're looking at the chat window. And if you have anything, you can ask in there. Okay. So let's get started. Now, the quick question is, yeah, Aditya, please ask question and literally open up. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, yeah, sorry, apologies. I clicked by mistake.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me something. What if someone asks you what is DevOps? What would be your answer? What is DevOps? And for people who were there yesterday, please don't answer. Anyone else? Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, so yeah, from what I understand from DevOps is essentially I would say it's a process of ensuring that the development and the operations they work together on a set of goals that is essentially to deliver on the software, which should be and the velocity should be maintained such that new features are also shipped while your production environment remains stable.
Okay. It's 99% correct answer. The one thing which we are forgetting is the customer. Yes. So DevOps is a mindset to keep customer happy. That's what it is all about. If the customer is happy, they will come back to our business all the time and they will use our service. Both of they consume the service, they pay for our services, both are happy. Yeah. Uh it's like hiring a good cricketer. And if he hits sixes, good. Yeah. I can't use Virat Kohli because RCB has not won anything yet, unfortunately. Yeah, but that's the point. The thing is, you have good engineering practices to do things so that the customer is happy all the time and we don't interrupt the customer at any time, at least 99% of the time. And we still give new features and those things. Yeah. So the way it works is you have something. So normally in companies, everything is done by metrics or numbers, as they call it. For for DevOps, normally the box standard is something called DORA metrics. It's on dora.dev/quick check. I'm going to send this link onto the chat so that the people can hit the link and check it out. Yeah. Now, tell me if let's say Mr. Karan is the business owner and he tells Guru, I want to make a small change to the website. How much time is it going to take? If I tell him 2 months, he won't be bothered. Correct, Karan? Yeah, exactly. But if I tell him, oh, it's less than 1 hour, he'll go, yes, I want it now. And if he can approve this, then he raises a ticket and we will go through that. But there may be other business owners as well. Like Karan, there will be Nikhil, there will be Deepak, there will be Aditya, there will be Yashwant. They all want changes. But if I say Karan is asked me the first, I will do his deployment first, and then you have to wait for one more day. So the fifth person asking normally has to wait for 5 days, which is a bit annoying. It's like, why is Karan more um, prominent than me? So what you should be doing is able to deploy as many things as possible. But with any change, there is a possibility of failure. So if I do 100 releases, if one of them fail, no problem. But if 5 out of 10 fails, Karan will never say, I want some features, because he's afraid that because of his change, the production went down. Yes? So a change fail percentage should be less than 5. So if you're doing 100 releases, maximum we should fail is 5. Normally at AWS or Google or Netflix, it is not even 1 in 1,000 as far as I remember. Okay, so just make sure that there is no failures in deployment. But once in a while happens, and how soon can you roll back? In this case, if you say 1 hour, it's good, but for me, it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes is ideal, just roll back. Yeah. So this is the things we are going to work with DORA metrics. Yeah. How soon can a change be made? How many deployments can I do? What is the chance that it will fail? And if it fails, how soon can we roll back? Yeah. Any questions so far? Please unmute yourself and ask. No. Okay. Let's assume so. So for today's example, we're going to use my blog. Okay. So let me go to my sit environment. So it's called app.sit.agileguru and it's down. Okay. So for some reason, let's say if UAT is up. Okay. Sorry. UAT is up. Okay. It's not up. Okay. Oops. And let's say demo. Oh,
That's going to mess with your DORA metrics.
Sorry?
That's going to mess with your DORA metrics.
No, but this is not my live, so doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm just messing with
DORA
you.
metrics is for live only. It doesn't mean for any other. There is a reason behind it. So what happens is, if you make some mistake, if it goes down, people are like, yeah, down ho gaya. Chalo, acha maza aayega. Yeah, right. So what I'm going to do is look at the app.dev and it's down. Oops, my blog is down. So we're going to fix this. So now if I look at my live, it doesn't have, let's say, I want to change the word from make it as multi-cloud. Yeah, it's a small change. Current wants it to be multi-cloud. Yeah, or make it as cloud native. I think cloud native is the buzzword at the minute. So we will use cloud native. Okay, that's the small change we're going to do. Now tell me, what is the best way? Should I log on SSH to my server and do the changes there? Or should I be making some changes everywhere else? What do you think?
Yeah, ideally only in your Git repository.
Exactly. So local development first. So I'm already in my local development. I'm in development branch. So the first thing I will do is git status. Everything is clean. And I'll be opening my repository, my code, which is this one. Now, if you look at my It's a Java based program. This is applicable to anyone. Now, if you see, I'm going to make my changes. One of the things which many people don't understand is they take their code too personally. No, it should be able to do things properly. So DevOps should make developers' life very easily. So here I'm going to first test if the code works already better or not. So I'm going to do Maven clean install. Given that my project is a Maven project, let's see if it works properly. Never ever work on a repository which does not work. Look at the last person who make the changes and ask them to fix it. Okay. So we are going to wait there. Now, till this happens, right, I'm going to show you the code, how it works. So I have two modules. One is called the www, which is where all of my content is. And one more module called Docker, which takes the content and makes it into a Docker image. Yeah, it's a statically generated image. I use a software called JBake. Okay, sorry, I'm a Java guy, but you can use any software. So it's called JBake, where you can literally generate your website in pure HTML. Okay, so I'm waiting. Everything is looks like it's all up and running, so all good. So what I'm going to do is go to my www content and see. Okay, start my build in line. Yeah, and see if it works. Okay. Well, local version is running. So let me see if my local is working. Yeah, this is my working. So what was the change, Mr. Karan? You are the business owner. So what was the change you needed? You're on mute, sir.
Yeah, I need it to be cloud native instead of just cloud.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. So guys, remember Karan is the project or product owner. So we have to do whatever he says. Yeah, well, technically at least. So what I'm going to do is go to the templates and go to the menu part and see, so you wanted it to be cloud native, correct? So yeah,
Yes,
cloud hyphen native or cloud native,
let's go with hyphen.
cloud hyphen N capital.
Yes, please.
Okay, saved. Okay, as soon as I save, the build happens automatically here. And but yeah, but I will do it again anyway, just in case, for people to understand how I build my software. It's just a Maven command. So after I have done that, I will check my local. How does this look? Yeah,
Looks good.
Yeah, that's better.
that's better. Is this what you wanted?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now I can do git status. Only one file was changed. It's a minor change. Git add jbake. Git commit -m. But before I do that, I want to make sure that this will work in a containerized environment, because all of my application nowadays runs in Docker. So I'm going to go back and do a Docker system prune so that everything gets cleared. So I don't have any Docker images whatsoever. Docker images, nothing. Yeah, clean. So I'm going to build the software, mvn clean install. Let's see if it works. So it's building the software, which it was doing anyway. Now, if you concentrate very well, unfortunately, I have very fast internet. So it's 600 Mbps, so it's going to be very fast. But if you see, sonar scanning is happening automatically for every record, so that I don't have to do sonar separately, Docker. And if you see, it is building the Docker image as well. I am not executing Docker build dot and all. No. Why? Because it's a boring job to do. And it has built already. So if I do Docker images, it has created the blog. I'm in development branch. It is the latest and all has the same ID. You may be wondering, but Guru, how is that happen? So if you look at my code, as I mentioned, I have a module called Docker. What I have done is added a git commit plugin, which will get the git metadata from the branch. We'll get the revision, then execute the Sonar Maven plugin so that it will execute the Sonar. Then it will execute Kubernetes Maven plugin, which will take the base image and with all the metadata I have provided here, including the Git branch name, it will create the Docker file at runtime and build the image automatically as part of your application build. Do you go mind? Okay. I thought it is already big. Okay. Right. Okay. I'll go a bit bigger. How about now? Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
better. Thank you.
Yeah. So now what has happened here is I have done the code and right. So here I use a plugin called Kubernetes Maven plugin, which will go and create. So as creation happens, you see the same image is with the development branch, latest, and this one. So what I'm going to do, I don't have to worry about branching, tagging, nothing. And you may be going, Guru, but this is going above my head. What can I do? Where can I learn this? I have put this already in my blog, which is here, and it has this blog how to use this plugin. So I'm going to paste it in the chat window for other people to read about it later. Okay. Yeah. Now that this has been done, I'm going to close that. Now I'm going to do git status, git commit -m. And what I'm going to do is say change the change the text. Yeah. Heading text. Git push origin develop. Now, so ideally, what should happen now? Any suggestions?
It should trigger a pipeline.
Yeah. Yeah, it should trigger a pipeline. So let's see if it has triggered one. I use Jenkins because I love Jenkins. So here it is, engineering blog. Okay, looks like main has failed for some reason. I will do is delete this build. Okay, and let's see. And so I have made some changes to develop. And let me delete the previous build. Okay, so let's see if it works. Now, this is one of the projects where Karan has mentioned, hey, I want to build the software. This will take 5 minutes roundabout. But let's say Nikhil or other people are my DevOps engineers, they will have n number of projects, which may be Java or this and that, and they may have 20, 30, 40 jobs which may be running in parallel. So as a best thing for making their lives easier, what it should do is engineer Jenkins to send the logs directly to a central place. So if I go to last 15 minutes, you see my Jenkins logs are coming here automatically. Yeah. And you may be wondering how. So what I have done is set up a plugin within Jenkins called Logstash plugin. What it does, it sends the application logs not only to the console, but to a central place as well if you want to. So if you go to Manage Jenkins and install that plugin called Logstash, then what happens is you send it to a centralized place and you may mark this enable globally. So all the jobs output will be sent to a Logstash, and Logstash, this is Grafana, which is pulling the output from Logstash. That way, a software engineer or a let's say anyone, if they don't have access to Jenkins or they don't have access to some system, can log on to a central console and see everything working better. Yeah, if you see, it's you're literally seeing what I'm seeing in Jenkins. Yeah, so let's go back to my build. So this will take around about 2 minutes. So let's see if this has worked. Yeah, it has built the artifact. Let's see if it doesn't fail. So let's see if it's in the development branch. It's doing the sonar scanning as I've been doing develop. So your pipelines should be as close to developers experience. Don't make your pipeline too complex. No. So if you see, the same thing which was happening in my laptop is happening over here. It's creating a Docker image. The only difference being it is trying to push it, and it's a success. Yes. Now what I'm going to do, from the development branch, I'm going to create a new version out of it. Yes, that's what we normally do, because I want to deploy a new version. So what I will do is create a new branch, Git, but let me pull it just in case. There will be nothing, I know that, but just in case. Then I will do Git branch -a. The latest was 1.12. I don't want to create 13 here. It's a bit of an unlucky number. So shall we use, actually I want to use 13 because my daughter was born on the November 13th. So I want to
Guru, there is a question from a Sam Dolan. If
Yeah.
you are, yep. So the question is, hi, do you have any insights into a Git branching strategies and app versioning strategies along with dependencies?
Yes. So what happens? Oh, very good question, sir. Very good question from Sam. Now, if you look at my form.xml, I use a Blaze plugin, yeah, which is a Spring 3.45, 3.3 here, but I can upgrade to 3.4. I have a managed thing, and most of the things, if you see, are variables: SCM base, CI base, and everything is a Docker image. That way, everything comes from one place. And you may be wondering, where is this defined? It is defined in your settings.xml. So let me see if I can show you that. Code ~/.m2 settings.xml. Yeah. So here, if you see, I have stored this in globally in settings.xml, which says what is my sonar, what is my artifact registry, where is my plugin and everything. And all the settings is in one place. So it is referring to this one, then it can download the dependencies automatically. And for versioning strategies, I use someone called Vincent Dreschen. Vincent Dreschen Git branching. This is kind of considered the what we call the Bible of this one. I will send you the link so that people can do it. Yeah. Sam, does this answer your question? Yes or no? I assume it.
You can unmute and answer it, Sam. That's fine.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, this is the strategy normally I use for branching. Okay. So now I do a git branch -a. So 3.12 is there. So I'll do git checkout -b version 3.12 was there. So I'll make it as 3.13. That's done. Git status. Now I'm going to do is git push origin v3.13. Yeah. As soon as the now what is going to be expected? Now I have to go into Jenkins and create a new job for this branch. Correct? But as you see, I'm a very automating person. So if I go to my engineering blog, you see 3.13 is already created for me. How does this happen? Anyone? Answers? I just created a branch in front of you. I was even afraid to create 13, but I created it and it was already, the job is set up. How is this happening? If you see the changes, it was a branch thing, so there was no changes. So how come this got created? So I use something called multi-branch plugin. So as soon as there is a new branch, it will automatically get pushed, notified. And if you see, it's saying git branch remote 3.13, it has a valid Jenkins file. So it will automatically create the job. So tomorrow, if I create a new branch or a tag or whatever, I don't have to sit and create those jobs anymore. It is done for me automatically. So there is no delay, nothing, it goes out. Coming back to DORA, lead time. Lead time here is very fast. Within 10 minutes, I'm able to generate the artifact. Now, I need to know whether my artifact has been generated or not. So what I'm going to do is go to my console and see where my artifacts are. So let's see. And it was my blog. So Docker DevOps. And it was my blog. So latest which was created was develop. I'm still waiting. Oh, 3.12 only is there. 3.13 has not been created yet. So I'm going to wait for a couple of minutes. So let's see if the engineering 3.13 is somewhere near deployment. I think it will be up in 1 minute or something. So this is the CI part. Now you may be wondering, but Guru, how do you have such a scalable? If there isn't an IP, how could you be able to glance at the, if there isn't an IP there, can you rephrase your question? Ask the question, Karan.
Yeah, I basically meant if there isn't any like confidential intellectual property of yours in the Jenkins files, could we take a glance at it?
Yeah, sure. There's nothing. There's nothing to be confidential because I don't create confidential thing because it's a security hazard. There is
Mhm.
nothing. What is happening is the pipeline says, hey, Mr. Jenkins, create a new pod using this template, which has two images. One is called Alacrity in that, and mount my software into that. And before doing that, use gcloud auth to authenticate to your Docker registry. Get the settings.xml, which is what I showed you from GCS bucket, and execute the command maven clean install. In the deploy artifact, I'm just authenticating again because my second job may be running on a different pod. It may happen. You never know. So I'm authenticating to gcloud auth for my Docker registry and then doing a deploy. That's it. Now you may be asking, what is this? So if you go to my pod template, it's saying, hey, create a Kubernetes pod. Yeah. And create a JNLP, but also create a named instance called Alacrity and use this base image. This is the similar to GitLab or something or anywhere where they give you a Docker instance where your audio build happens. They don't give you a full-fledged VM. It's a similar concept. So it pulls it, mounts my repository into it, and also gives you Docker and uses a Maven PVC so that it doesn't download the artifact again and again. And literally builds the software in that one. It's literally like having a local laptop, to be honest, which has Docker on it. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Any other questions from anyone?
Yep. Akhil is having a question. Like, is gcloud still offering the credits? I'm curious to know where you have deployed all your tech apps.
Yes. No, they don't give you credit. I spend a lot of money for my learning. Mine is around about 15,000 a month. not pounds, 15,000 rupees. Yes, so it's 15,000 rupees round and average.
Thanks for asking. Thanks for replying. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm having question, Guru. So,
Yeah.
the pod template you have just shown for the Jenkins template pipeline,
Yeah.
is it very similar to like, we can say a GitHub containers we wrote like the GitHub actions, right?
Yes. See, when you execute a GitHub action, it creates a VM, then instantiates a Docker, and then loads your source code into the Docker as a volume.
Yep.
It's the same. Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
We are good to go right now.
Yeah. So now this has been deployed. Let's see if the artifact has been created. I think the demo gods are with me today. Yes. So now if you look at the tagging, it's saying 1.0, the latest, and version 3.3, 13 is the same image. What is this? Latest we can understand. It is the latest which has been built. But what is this 1.0 snapshot? That is your application version. So if you look at my pom.xml, it tells me that my current version is also 1.1, 1.0. So all the tagging happens in automatically. I don't have to use my brain. Tomorrow, if I change my version to 1.1 or change my Git branch, this tagging will be done automatically. I don't have to use my brains anymore. So I can concentrate on the product because Karan wants it to be going live. I will take a 1-minute pause here and answer some questions. Please unmute yourself and ask. There is no wrong questions here.
Also, team, it's great if we can, turn on our cameras. At least we know we are live.
Yeah. So now, if you see, we have finished with the lead time. Lead time is less than 1 hour because Karan is my stakeholder. And if I don't deliver on time, he will not buy me the chocolates. Yes. So now he's happy with, now I'm going to ask Mr. Karan, right? So, so Karan has now has to give me the permission to deploy it to dev. Karan, are you okay for me to do the deployment? Yes.
Yes, go ahead, please.
So Jenkins CI work is done. The artifact has been created. One people mistakes they do is keep the CI and the CD in the same place. Try not to do that if possible. Of course, it depends from company policy to policy. So now what has happened is I'm ready to do the deployment. But as you know, normally what happens in a typical environment is now I will go and change my deployment files. So my code is done. So I'm going to close this one. Now I'm coming to my, this is my blog. Yes. So now what I'm going to do is go to my application and go to my dev environment and go to customization and change the version. And the first thing is Mr. Operations will go, no, don't edit the file manually. Don't do that. Because that's wrong. Because it's the stakeholder who has to approve. He's not going to look at the code. He doesn't know where this is. So don't do that. So the best thing to do is give a tool so that it can perform the task of changing the configuration files and putting it into Git. One of such tools is called Kargo. It is from Acuity, the same people who have done Argo CD. So I have created a pipeline called blog pipeline. And now if you see 3.12 is there, which was the old version. Now Karan is going to say, yes, I'm ready to do the deployment for 3.13. So I'm going to go here and go, okay, 3.13 is ready. I will say this flight is ready to be deployed. I will show the pipeline a little bit later. One of the rules I have written here is as soon as something new is available, deploy it to dev automatically. So what it is doing is doing the git clone, customizing, set the commit, and create a PR. And the only thing I need to do is approve a PR for deployment. Yeah. So let me go back to my PR, which is release processes backstage, and it has raised a PR. I want to promote 3.13 today. Karan, is this what you wanted? 3.13 today? Yes? Good. So what is the change which has been made? Only one file has changed, the customization from 312 to 330. That's what I want. That's it. So what I'm going to do, normally it will be the business owner who will be approving the merge, but in my case, I will do this time. So I'm going to just say merge request and confirm merge. That's it. Now, to prove that that is what is done, I will pull the code latest here. Okay. Pull, develop. And if you see, something has changed. Yeah. So you see 3.13 already has come. So the deployment files are making changes to the code and committing. So everything is tracked. And who has done this? Mr. Kargo UI has done it. So you can track who has done that. So there will be no mistakes here. It's foolproof. Because by mistake, if I'm a human, here I'm selecting the tag. So setting a tag will never be a problem. But if I'm a developer, I may put 130 for some reason. There is a chance I can do that. So to avoid that, those things, I have put it in here. So now it has been deployed. Now I'll go to my Argo CD and see what is happening. Now I go to my dev apps. Let's see what is the difference. Somebody wants to deploy something. Okay, where is my blog? And the version which needs to deploy is 313 here. If you see, I'll zoom it up a little bit. You see V13 is to be deployed, correct? Yeah. So the only thing I need to do is do a sync. And we will wait for a couple of seconds. And then I will tell the business owner. Who is the business owner? Mr. Karan. So Karan is going to get a live or test URL. Just give it a couple of seconds. Let's see what's happening. It's waiting for syncing. I think it's progressing. Okay, let's see. I hope the demo gods are with me today. It's sunny in England, which is normally not the thing. So you're going to wait. Okay. Okay. Okay, help. Yeah. So I think it's progressing. Okay. kubectl get pods minus and dev. Yeah, it is deployed. Yeah, it is deployed. Sorry. So now what I will do is go to my ingress. So Mr. Okay. So let me go to my dev instance. App.dev. Okay. Sorry, it was app. Oh, this is, sorry, not app, it was tech. And cloud native is up. Yes. So I'm going to give this URL to Karan and everyone. Yeah, please hit this URL and see if this is what you are saying. And then Mr. Karan has to confirm whether this is correct or not. Is this what? He will do some exploratory testing. Is everything good, sir? Yeah. Can everyone confirm? Anyone else confirm? Because I want a QA person to test it as well. Someone.
Yep, from my end, it's going good.
Yeah. Okay. Rusikesh has also confirmed that all is good. So now, Karan, can we put this to SIT? System integration testing. You okay with that? Yes. So in tech, SIT is down, obviously, because I have not deployed anything. So I'm going to go here. Yeah. And the only thing I need to do is select this one. Yes, promote. Now this time it's not going to do automatically, obviously. It's waiting for a PR to be created, which is good. So again, the same thing needs to do again is backstage. And it has raised a PR. Sit to 13. What has changed? The sit environment file has changed. If you see, look at the folder structure, it's called sit. So from 312 to 313, looks like okay. So business owner has to approve it, commit, done. Now if I do a pull again, I don't need to do this. This is I'm showing what has changed. You see the sit environment file has changed. So now if I open my sit, 313 is here. So now what I'm going to do is go to my Argo, Argo. Now I'm going to go into my sit applications, which is where A, B, C, D,
It's
yeah,
below.
yeah.
below
So
the
I'm
card.
going to do diff. Okay, yeah, looks like it. Yeah, this is my 312. Okay, so I'm going to do a refresh because it's showing me 312 for some reason. Diff 313. Yeah, so I'm going to do sync and synchronize. And we have to wait for 1 minute. Unfortunately, that's how it is. So just give it a couple of seconds and it should be done. Now, there are some health checks which it performs and it shows if the health check is good, it will put a green tag on it. Yeah, so we have to wait for a couple of seconds. And it says it's healthy. I hope this one deploys. Looks like it's up. I'll send you the sit. Yeah, sit URL is up. Now I'm going to do the boring things of deploying it to UAT demo and prod. Are you okay with prod deployment, sir? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to do the same to, okay. Okay, let me just refresh. Promote, yeah. Sorry, UAT. Why is it not doing that? Just give me 1 minute. I promoted both dev and sit to it. So why? 312, 313, okay. Verified in dev, yes. Promote to sit, yes. And then promote to sit. So I just did that. And then I want to promote to UAT. Okay, looks like sit is.
Is the Argo pipeline still isn't?
No. Okay, let me. I want to promote it to UAT, yes. But I did it for sit. Okay, what I'm going to do is directly go to prod. Okay, promote to UAT. Oh, not available stage. Okay, why? Okay, it's doing for sit for some reason. Let me check. Waiting for PR. Why? Okay, refresh.
Looks Damagod is taking a tea break.
Yeah, okay. No, now it's come back. Yeah. So UAT, and I'm going to say it's verified in SIT. Yes, it should deploy. Yeah. Looks like I'm telling it to do it too quickly. Now it is doing it in UAT. So I should get a pull request for UAT, which is what I expect. And you can see it is telling me backlinking to who has initiated the process. So
Hmm.
it's not that it cannot be tracked. I'm sure it can be tracked. So I'm going to then make a merge request, and UAT should be up. And let me go to Argo. Sorry, where is my Argo? Sit. I know I have too many environments, but this is not what normally happens in a. So this is 13. Yeah. No, I have to just do a refresh. Diff 3.13 is here. So I will do the sync, and then I will go to UAT. I just need to do a refresh here. Okay, and then I will do a demo. It is no, it is verified. Acha, it is waiting for to notify Mr. Cargo that it has been deployed. So it takes a bit of time. So you can't rush into things, right? So UAT link I have not provided, right? So let's see tech.uat, not UTA, UAT. Yeah, it's up and running. So other people can check as well. So now let's see if it is done in Cargo. Refresh. Yeah. Now I'm going to do the demo. See, you cannot rush into things. It is very clever not to let you jump the queue. Yeah. So now it is doing for demo environment. So the same boring stuff, but at least it is predictable. I know what I need to do. So there is nothing much to. If you see, the file names have changed automatically. Burst to demo now. So conversation. I know this is a bit boring, but this is normally what happens in a promote environment. Yes, as Rishabh mentioned, if there are any questions, please let me know. Now this is UAT. No,
Cool,
now we
sir.
need
In
to.
the meantime, cool, sir. In
Sorry.
the meantime, if you can show us I was interested in the Docker part, that how you are creating the Docker images in the last.
Yeah,
You would
yeah.
have
Just
given
give me
that.
1 minute. I'll let me deploy it to
Sure,
demo, and then I will show you
sure,
that
sure.
one. Yeah. Okay. So it is out of sync. Diff 3. No, this is refresh. Okay. Diff 313 is here. I'll do a sync. So before going to prod, we will just do a demo version sync, and then we will do it. Yeah, and let's look at the demo version. Please confirm. Here is the demo version. Now, what was the question? Someone was asking. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Hi, John, sir. My name is Pushkar. I was
Hmm.
asking if we could see the steps of how you are creating the Docker images in the
Okay.
list in the last part of
Okay.
the.
Sure. Okay. Code dot slash blog. Okay. So what is happening? As I mentioned, I don't create a Docker file because it's a very boring thing to do. So what happens is, if you look at my pom.xml of my content, what it does, it takes the input JBake, which is inside this, whatever is the output, JBake output is, what is the property, is the JBake output is take it from the www, yeah, and put it inside Docker output. So the input of Docker is the output of www. module. And inside Docker, then the output is here. Then what I do is pom.xml when it is created, I use this plugin called Kubernetes Maven plugin, which goes and creates the Docker file. If you see, actually, you can see it here, the one which is dynamically generated. I don't have to sit and do it. It automatically does it for me. So the only thing you need to know is how to use this plugin, which is what I mentioned is in the link of this one, how to accelerate this one. It will show you automatically, and the example is here. Does this make sense to you, Pushkar?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, right. So now the demo version is up and running. Now comes the
Another
live.
question, sir.
Yeah, go
Question,
ahead.
sir. So for using this particular plugin, I'll have to get it to the Maven part, right?
Yeah, you need to.
This
This
is
is a
a
Java
Java
specific.
related.
Yeah, but there
So
are
that is
plugins
why
for
I'm
Node.js and there are plugins
Mhm.
for Go as well.
correct. Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank you,
now, Mr. Karan, production pe jaye ki nahi? Okay. Looks like my stakeholder has given me the
Green
nod.
flag.
So let me refresh, check everything is gone. Yeah. So now I'm ready to go to live. And if I check this one, yes. And it's raising a PR. Okay. Has it raised a PR? Yes, it has raised a PR. So now I'm ready to go live. And if I click this one, yeah. And what is the file which has changed? Prod, which is, looks what has happened. So if you see here, the point is, this is totally error proof. We cannot make a mistake. You cannot choose a wrong file. And everything is controlled in Git. So tomorrow, even if my Kargo and Argo dies, doesn't matter. I can go to the command prompt and execute kubectl anyway. So there is a back for, so you're not stuck to a tool. What this is doing is what normally release people do. They go and check out the code and execute kubectl, to be honest. But it is doing for you. I don't have to use it. So that Mr. Karan does not get unhappy about it. So now if I go to my prod apps and let's say refresh. And if I do, no, I don't want to do a sync. I want to see what it is. Okay. And where is my live blog rollout is 11 to 13. Okay. That's not bad. So what I'm going to do is sync. Yeah. And I'm going to wait for some time. So if you see this one, this is the previous version, which was, if you look at the manifest, which was 3.11. So I can track everything, what is being changed, which I can see from that file anyway. But if there are operations people who want to see, they can see this. Now, if you see, it is stuck. Yeah. Why? It's saying it's missing, but it's thing. So now this is where I'm doing Canary deployment. Yeah. This is the good part. Now it is live. So if there was a mistake in testing, we would be in trouble. So if I go to tech, that is not live yet. But I'm doing a Canary deployment here. If I do it refresh, it's testing with 20% of the traffic. Cloud native, cloud, okay. It is doing Canary deployment. So looks like the live deployment is good. What I'm going to do is make a full-fledged deployment. So what I'm going to do is cloud alacrity sys/rollouts. And what was the environment? Prod.
It was prod.
Yeah. So if I go here, it's telling me, you're using two versions. One was 3, one was 13. You're doing a Canary deployment. Yes. So now, because it's Canary, half the traffic will be there, half the traffic will not be there. Oh, sir, this is the demo version. I don't use rollouts in demo. So I use it only in the live version. So it is cloud native. Looks like both versions are good. What I'm going to do is promote everything to live, and I do that. Once I do that, it's telling me I'm taking the old version out and only keeping the live version 3.30. Yes. And I think now if you hit everything, it's 100% live. So, Mr. Karan, are you happy with the release process? Yes, looks like my business owner is happy. So, Karan has promised that he will send me some Swiss chocolates. So, I'm looking forward to those. Now, this is the technical how it is done. Now, you may be asking, Guru, but how did you all do this? Everyone knows Argo CD, which is easy. But I want to track what has happened during the release, because Karan is only cares about the application being live. Does he care about the infrastructure? Not much. But I want to track what is happening. So what I do is go to my dashboard and see what is happening. I did some release now, correct? So I look at the infra and I'll go what happened in the last 1 hour. You see, I did lots of releases. You see these yellow lines? I did a release to dev, to sit, to UAT, to demo, and to prod. These are the annotations. When I did some release, there was some CPU hike, but that was normal. So when I did a prod, nothing happened. It was changing one, so it does not. But when I did it for sit, because it was not deployed, and it deployed, so there was some more usage of memory and CPU because the application was not deployed. So this is called annotations. With these annotations, you can see what is the effect on the infrastructure when you do any releases. And then how much machines have been set up and everything, what happened to the database and everything. All the release had no adverse effect on anything. Disk writes were, see, there was, because I created an application, there was some disk write, but then it was okay. So, and the application didn't go well, and all the logs are okay, and logs and traces are good. I did some releases, no failures, nothing. So looks like my release was perfect. Yeah. Now you may be wondering, Guru, this is all nice, but how do I do it? Go to kargo.io. Kargo.io. This is the release software which I use. Sorry. Kargo.io. My mistake. Kargo.io, which has the softwares to do that. Okay. You have to install it. I will show you the pipeline. Okay. I will wait for 1 minute for people to ask questions.
Hey Guru, this is Kumail speaking. So
Hi.
I just wanted to know about that you have talked about log stash, right? For logging mechanism in Jenkins. So let's say if there is a scenario where our logs has been exhausted, logging mechanism. So is there any possibility that we need to maintain lifecycle for that apart from that?
Okay. For log stash, I don't use Elasticsearch.
Okay.
Because the problem with Elasticsearch is that you have to provision the disk upfront.
Yes.
And let's say you have provisioned 50 GB and you run out of 50 GB. Then you have to shut down the server, you have to expand the disk and re-index, and I do not know. So I do not use Elasticsearch. For Logstash, I use something called Loki.
Okay. Yeah.
And the good thing about Loki is one thing is if you look at my infrastructure, I write my logs into an GCS bucket. Or
Okay.
you can write to an S3 bucket as well. Now,
Hmm.
good thing with GCS bucket or S3 bucket is that you don't have to provision and you have to only pay for what you use.
Yes.
You don't have to pay for 50 GB of hard disk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the good thing is, because of low keys compression, GS util, yeah, GS util low key logs, it's only 890 KB.
Hmm. That's nice.
That means it's almost zero cost.
Yeah.
Nice, no?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
It's
see,
smart.
I'm not a millionaire like you. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Thank
So
you so
now,
much.
yeah. So now what I'm going to do is close the window and show you how the pipeline works. So deployment pipelines code dot. The good thing is your pipeline is again YAML only, but you need to know a bit of syntax. It's very easy to implement. Go to Kargo and look at their examples. Yeah. So this is my example. It's called blog pipeline. Remember when I changed my file, the dev deployment was automatic. So I have made this as automatic, auto promotion enabled true. But for sit, UAT, and prod, and demo and prod, I have made it as false. Means somebody has to manually approve it. Warehouse means where is the Docker images coming from. So you can say this is, and it should follow lexical. I do not want to use semantic versions, but if you say true, then you have to use proper versioning, semantic versioning, else it will not work. What does the promotion and what are the stages? It's simple. Dev, then sit. Sit has a dependency on dev, and so forth. For prod, it has to be deployed into demo, else it won't allow you to pass through. It's like no skipping in the line. Line skip नहीं कर सकते. तुम VIP क्यों ना? You can't. And what happens is a promotion task. This is where you need to write some code, but it's normally YAML. You have to define some variables. And then what you do is the steps. You do a git clone, set the image in customize, git the commit, push, and open a PR and wait for the PR to be approved. That is what we did, right? So you are literally writing a bunch of YAML, but you need to know a little bit of this tag. This is the tag which has been selected. And then this is the commit which does. So all this is done in as code. Nothing is UI. Everything is code. Yeah. Once you do that, this is how the pipeline works. And that's the end of the demo, to be honest. I was expecting this to be failing, but apparently it's not. Now let's go back to this one. How many deployments did we do in 1 hour? 5. Perfect. What was the change fail percentage? 0. And because there was no failure, I didn't have to do a recovery anyway. Karan, you were on mute. I can't hear you.
No, I'm sorry, I was talking to my mom.
Okay, fine. So this is the end of the demo, and I'm waiting for some questions if you have any.
Yeah, Guru, from my end, that is a question.
Hmm.
Can you go on Argo, like the Argo CD?
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
So I believe, like, we set the health check on, the Helm charts, or we can say, the KTS deployment we are creating.
Hmm.
But the correct logo over here onto, the pods we are creating after the deploy, is it coming from some kind of integration we have done or something?
Sorry,
else?
can you repeat the question again?
Yep. So I know about, like, health check on KTS level,
Hmm.
but the green tick mark you are having onto, UI,
Hmm.
where it is coming from, like, is it
Just
due
taking
to,
the
like-
health check of the pod.
Oh, okay, but on Argo level, right?
No, at the KTS level.
Okay.
It takes the output and then puts it up. Because I'm sending it an ingress, it hits the ingress and checks whether it's okay or not. So there are
Okay.
two things. One, from an application point of view, because if it does not see, so what happens is it checks the pod if it is running or not.
Hmm.
kubectl get service minus n prod, it checks, right? And then what happens is, this is my blog, then it describes it and checks whether service is enabled for the pod. It checks the pod and then does it. So technically it's a combination of check first from K8s and then check from Argo CD. But this is all automatic. You don't have to do anything per se.
Okay. So do we put kind of, a different customization onto a template?
What do you mean by that? If
So,
you can...
yeah, I have done, the Argo deployments, but
Ah.
my Argo deployment doesn't have the tick mark. So where it is coming
Yeah,
from, that's the
okay. I
actual
use a
logic.
software called Rollout. This one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I forgot to tell you about that one. So it's called Argo Rollouts.
Yeah.
Rollouts. Sorry, I forgot to. So I also use this software. It uses Canary deployment and A/B testing deployment.
Okay.
So I have integrated everything. I know this is like overwhelming for a lot of people. So I'm going to close this window and I'll show you how it works. CD cd backstage. Okay, backstage code dot. Now, what happens is, when I was provisioning this one, Argo CD, yeah, what happens is Argo has an apps which has control F cargo, which is deploying as a app. Yeah, it takes it things. Then what happens is, it's telling me deploy the cargo, take the values from Argo CD / cargo values.yaml. It takes this one. This gives me the permission who can execute what. By default, the admins are Guru, me, but viewers are only these 4 people. No one else can see the pipelines. Yeah. And then what happens is, I am saying integrated with Argo CD and also integrated with rollouts. And then what happens is, it looks for the rollout instances, and this is what it is. Rollout has an install. I have to install this whole CRDs. And then this is the dashboard which it creates. And then this is the ingress for me, cloud / rollouts. And that's what it does. So I have OAuth protection for rollouts so that no one can log in. And I use an OAuth 2 proxy. And rollouts is what I use to do the deployment.
Understood.
Any other questions?
I'm good to go from my end.
Thank you, Karan, for doing things, and thank you everyone for asking the questions. I'm going to stop the recording. Where is? Okay, manage recording. Stop recording.